Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Reignite Your Soul podcast. My name is Laura Plahuta, and I am your host. And I am super, super excited to be here live on Instagram for this recording of this episode. And today I'm going to be chatting with an incredible guest, Marianna Martinez, who is a holistic nutritionist. She is a metabolic balance coach, and she also is a energy medicine practitioner. Hi, everyone. So happy you're on here. And we're going to be having a little chat about women's health and resetting your metabolism and losing weight in a healthy way. Because in society and a lot of the societal beliefs and cultural stuff that we have grown up with, a lot of it doesn't really support women's in a very supportive way. So I'm very excited to have this conversation, as I've struggled a lot in my past with metabolic and hormonal issues, which really started affecting my own personal health as well. And I know that Marianna has a similar story as well, and that's actually what got her into doing exactly what she's doing. So hello. I'm so happy that you're on here.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you. Hi, guys.
You are so welcome. How's your day been so far?
It's been wonderful. It's so nice outside and beautiful. And you?
It's been really good. Yeah, I was moving through quite a lot this morning, but feeling really good now, and so excited to have this conversation with you.
Absolutely. Likewise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for everybody on here who's in the comments, if you have an intention of what you would love to receive or anything that you would love to receive from this conversation, please feel free to put that in the comments and we can get to that. But first off, I would just like to say thank you so much, Marianna, for being open to come on here and sharing your story and your experience and your passion for helping women really to live a happier, healthier life overall. And also, I just love how you are combining both nutrition, energy medicine, and bringing in the spiritual component into what you're doing on the physical plane as well. So I'm very, very excited to hear your story, because I haven't heard your full story yet. So I'd love it if you would just love to introduce yourself so that we can all get to know you a little bit more.
Perfect. Sounds good. So my name is Marianna. I'm a holistic nutritionist and a metabolic balance coach, but I'm also energy medicine practitioner, as Laura mentioned. It just happened that I started studying nutrition a while back, and then one of the classes was energy medicine, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. So I took that, and it just like opened a absolutely new door for me. At the beginning, I didn't realize how I'm gonna combine that together, but now it totally makes sense because a lot has to do with your intuition, and it's definitely helping me on my journey and in helping other people. So today, the reason I'm here to talk about women's health, so how my journey started also personally. After I had a child about 6 years ago, I gained a lot of weight. And I've been doing so many different things and trying different programs and gym and different shakes and pills and whatnot, and nothing was helping me. So, and I had many clients who came with me came to me with the same issue, and they were asking me, okay, what should I do? So until I discovered this for myself, I couldn't really help them, and I was really curious how to do it properly. So now I finally, about a year ago, I found an answer to this question, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm doing a weight loss program, but it's so much more than a weight loss. It's a lot of other things too, balancing health.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's amazing, like focusing on weight loss too. It's like, it's such a important component for us. And it's an important piece to be able to focus on, because there are a lot of women that do struggle with that. And when the body is functioning at an optimal space, it doesn't have all of that extra body fat. And I'm a huge advocate for, like, our body is always showing us it's trying to show us what is happening underneath the surface. And that is one of the ways that our body does show us that something is unbalanced beneath the surface.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's where the intuition comes in, because you kind of need to see what's happening and feel it. It's such a big picture of, it's not just the weight, oh, I gained a few pounds. It's just like a whole picture of what's happening underneath that you need to understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm curious, Mariana, when you have people come to you, I know you really love talking about the underlying root causes and the reason why people are having the experiences that they're having, because we can come into this wanting to, say, lose weight at the superficial level of not really understanding the deeper underlying reasons, but it's not really until we mentally, as a goal, connect with that deeper meaning and the actual energetics underneath it, that we will actually start seeing those results that we're seeking as well. So I'm curious if you'd be open to sharing a little bit more about that as well.
Sure. So some of the things you need to make sure you look into would be, well, first of all, your water intake. A lot has to do with your stress, so it's a lot to do with hormones. And when you're under stress, it will affect your cortisol levels. So it will, not let you lose weight when you need it. A lot has to do with your rest. You need to make sure you are sleeping properly and you're sleeping well. Um, of course, your activity levels, but the main component is the food. We think we eat healthy, but sometimes we don't realize that the blood sugar is the one, insulin level is the one that plays a big role in our health. People think, oh, I'm not diabetic, I should not be worried about that. Of course, but it will affect your levels, affect the way you lose weight and how the hormones function. So the main focus on my program is actually, well, not my program, metabolic balance program that I'm working with. It's balancing the blood sugar. So when one of the reasons why people gain weight so easily and not able to lose it is because we eat the way we eat these days in North America, our blood sugar is jumping up and down, up and down. And when the blood sugar is high, it's first of all you gaining the fat, but also it's blocking the opportunity for a person, for the body to burn that fat. So the whole idea of the successful weight loss is just to keep that blood sugar stable, choosing the right foods to keep those like low glycemic foods. And
Yeah.
make sure, of course, you have your proteins and healthy fats and balanced meals.
Yeah, and it's so important to note that. Thank you for sharing that, because I know, like, a lot of it's a common pattern when we're wanting to lose weight that we will cut back on things, or we will just be choosing the wrong foods. And so and then when we do that, our body is depleted, and then we end up binge eating or doing other things in order to compensate for that. So I'm curious if you'd be open to sharing like more about how people can incorporate nutritionally ways that are low glycemic. Like, for somebody who doesn't know what that means, what does that look like for them?
Okay, so low glycemic and high glycemic. So low glycemic foods would be something that's high in fiber and it's kind of lower on sugar. For example, you take two fruits. For example, you have banana and you have apple. So apple has lower sugar content and it's helping to balance that blood sugar instead of eating a banana. So a healthy breakfast would be, for example, um, full fat, non-sugar yogurt, just plain yogurt with some berries on top. So berries have, most of the berries, they are low glycemic foods. So you just put berries on top and here's your healthy breakfast. And another thing also, I know we love eating, but then we love snacking, and it's something that's actually adding to that jump of insulin level. So on the program, we only have 3 meals. You eat your breakfast, you eat your lunch, and you have your dinner, and that's it. There is usually about 4 or 5 hours between the meals, and this helps to stabilize the blood sugar levels.
Mm. Yeah, and how are, like, because I'm all about intuitive eating and being able to listen to my body and really asking. And obviously, like, it's taken me a while to be able to get to that point where I'm able to listen to my body, to be able to listen to its needs. So any suggestions for people, like, would you say, like, is it like one of those things where it's like no snacks, or is it like a listen to your body? If your body is needing something, then
Depends what you're trying to do. If you're on the actual weight loss program or like weight loss journey at this moment, I wouldn't suggest having any snacks at all. But if you're just trying to have a healthy lifestyle, then for sure, if you feel that you feel that you need something right now because, for example, you're really working hard and your brain is, studying something, or your brain is working hard and you feel that your body needs nutrition, nourishment at this moment, then for sure, go for it. But it depends where you are and what you're trying to achieve.
And so when you speak about like 3 meals, if somebody was listening to this and they say wanted to, like what is like the makeup of what a healthy meal should look like for people, specifically women with
Depends.
women's health?
Right. It depends again. If they are doing the weight loss at this moment, then for example, lunch you can have as well. Depends what kind of proteins they choose. For example, if a person eats meat, okay, so lunch would be chicken breast, and it's going to be lots of different vegetables. You can have some rye bread with no yeast. This is definitely something that's allowed on the program as well. And a fruit, apple or berries or something else that you can find a little more on the low glycemic side. So while you're losing weight, because a lot of vegetables, it is carbohydrates as well. So we don't have to be eating the rice and pasta and the grains all the time. So when the person is on the program with me, we substitute. We eat a lot of vegetables. We eat fruits or berries and bread and protein as well as healthy fats, and that's how the meal basically look like. After that, once you achieve your weight, then you are definitely more than welcome to start adding different things and different foods and play around with food. For example, you would choose, if you want the grains, then you can maybe choose whole grain pasta or buckwheat or millet or something that has a lot of fiber, and you would start slowly.
Right. And so,
go
ahead.
Some of the women, so the meal plan that they get on my program, it depends on the blood test. So they give blood, and the Metabolic Balance Company, they look at 36 different values. So if the blood test is okay, and it's allowed, that's how they select the foods that are suitable for people. So some people even have oatmeal on their program, and some people have potatoes on their program, and some people don't. But no matter what, so it doesn't have to be like, strictly just only cucumbers and just apples and stuff. It can be a variety of different vegetables that you can be eating.
Amazing. I love how it does the like how you utilize blood tests and receiving certain values and stuff. So it's specifically customized and tailored to what the specific body needs in order to get the specific results. I think that's something that's really cool that I love that we're seeing a lot more recently. I know I had Joanne on a couple weeks ago who does iridology and hair samples as well with what she does. And it's so cool when we can start bringing in these customized, tailored things, because even like what you were sharing with all of this stuff, like I've done a lot of stuff for myself with nutrition, so I have a big understanding of it. But I remember when I was first getting into it, and even sometimes still hearing all of these things, it's like there's so many things to think about that it gets so overwhelming that you just don't ever tackle it. And I think it's so important that there's amazing people like you that people can lean on in order to have that support and have that help, because I can really see how being able to do this in a way that's supported by the blood test, by having you there to help guide them to their goals and having that support would bring them that long-term success. Because then, like you said, once you're learning which foods are good for your body, then you're then naturally going to start incorporating those foods more once you build that habit. And then once you're, say, at your weight loss goal, then you then shift things into more of a lifestyle where then they still have your support in order to be able to do that. And nutrition it really is like one of those base things. I know you know this with the energy work and that you do as well, that like a lot of the times we kind of want to, I know for me too, it's like I want to skip like the basic stuff and just skip to like the exciting stuff. And it's like nutrition can seem kind of mundane sometimes, you know, it's only food, right? But it's like it's the core friggin' thing that like actually allows us to have the energy in order to do the things we want to do, so we can like go and do the social stuff, so we can rock our businesses, so we can be with friends and family and be there for ourselves and all of these other things.
That's right. And it's amazing when you eat well, my clients, they start having energy, the mind gets clear and all these changes start happening, and they're like, is this food? Like what's happening? But it just makes such a big difference for sure what you're eating.
Yeah, for sure. And did you say that you have a Facebook group that people can join in order to gain some support with that?
Usually, yes. So those people who are on the program, I have a private group, but also I have a regular page where people can jump in, and I post a lot of information. Same as
Amazing.
Instagram. Yeah, share a lot of information.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, and we can put the information in the comments here of the episode when we post it live as well, so that anybody who is interested in receiving that information, then you can start kind of dabbling in all of this stuff, and obviously you can reach out to Marianna if you do want more information on that. And I'm curious too, Marianna, since you are incorporating the nutrition stuff with the energy medicine, would you be open to explaining a little bit more about what energy medicine is and how that incorporated in with what you're doing really does make a massive difference?
Right. For me, well, energy medicine is balancing your chakras and aura and how you feel, and it's spiritual work, and it's a lot. But how it helps me, I work intuitively with people. So besides
You're
the
just
meal
cutting
plan,
out
I
a
have
little
to.
bit there. Can you repeat what you just said? You work with?
Um, I work intuitively with women. Sorry. So besides the meal plan, I have to, they get about 5-6 hours of my time with guidance while guiding them through the program. So sometimes when they come up with some questions or some issues that need to be addressed, that's definitely helping. My intuition definitely helps too, besides the knowledge and experience, helping to guide where they need to go and to be able to support them.
For sure. Yeah. And you do this out of online, correct?
That's right. It's an online program only. So it's through Zoom, through WhatsApp, and we just chat, and then we have the Zoom calls too.
Amazing. And yeah, would you be open to explaining more about like the energy side of things? Just so that people can have a greater
Yes,
understanding, because I know everybody's kind of curious about energy medicine, and I love it. And like the work that I do is in the similar space. So
right. Well, from the energy side, I also have the machine. It's called biofeedback machine, and it's definitely works with energy. So it scans your body energetically and tells me about different disbalances emotionally, on a physical level, and also energetically. So it can give you a picture of your chakras at this moment and picture of your aura, and helps to balance those things. So it's I use biofeedback machine sometimes in my practice. Well, often. It's not for everyone, definitely. The person needs to be able to understand these things and accept them. And when we're open to energy and we're open to receiving things, then it will definitely help us. And but if the person is not, open, then it's fine. We work with different other things, and so yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so if you were to give a few like tips for women that are looking to really rebalance their hormones, I know you did mention a few of them. You mentioned about increasing fiber. You mentioned about decreasing sugar, increasing water intake. Is there anything else that you would like to share for anybody who is looking to?
Just make sure, so yes, definitely before jumping into like really heavy exercises, make sure you look at your food first and just fix that part. because to be able to burn properly, burn the calories and burn have the energy to do it, you need to have that. Work on your stress, because we live, especially in big cities, we live under so much pressure and so much stress, even traffics and lots of people. So work on that. You can work with magnesium, for example. You can take some magnesium before going to sleep, or have some bath with Epsom salt. Because when we're under stress, we deplete the magnesium really fast. So it helps to relax the muscles. It helps you sleep better. So definitely work on your stress levels, and of course try to improve not to stress about little things. So water. Make sure you're drinking enough water, pure water, food. Yeah, those are main points. And of course, exercise, movement is very important. It helps with your stress, stress level too.
Yeah, amazing. Two like such important pieces to add to it with the stress, because obviously if our body is always in fight or flight mode, it's never going to be in the rest and digest, which is where all of the healing takes place, and that's where we will actually lose weight. And lifestyle is a huge piece of that. So I'm so happy that you mentioned that. And then the exercise piece as well. So that's really great. Any suggestions for people that are wanting to lose weight around exercise, movement? I know there's lots of stuff kind of options that there are, but is there anything that you recommend, a way for people to be able to decide which piece of movement is best for them?
That's where the intuition comes from. That's where
Perfect.
it helps a lot. Some people have, more attracted to yoga and something very mellow like this, and some people want the weights, and some people are happy just go outside and run. I know on the program, for the first 3 weeks when they start, we take out the exercise piece, but the movement, they still go for walks every single day and do something light. But we take out the exercise at the beginning to be able to, because we work on balancing the metabolism, the hormones. We have to make sure everything is working properly. And then after 3 weeks, we put back the exercise and slowly starting to incorporate the. There are lots of options, even online you can find, or gym, or outside. Right now it's great weather and great opportunity to do things. Or even when you have children, like staying active with your kids. Go and play soccer with them, run around and be happy. So there are many options.
Yeah, play and fun is like one of the best things you can do for your health.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's so great. I was just gonna say, give me 1 second here. Like this happens, I lose it.
It
I
will
can't
come back.
remember. It will come back. Can you remind me what you were just saying, Marianna?
Oh, we were just talking about exercise, playing and intuitively choosing the exercise that you need to, that's more suitable for you.
Yeah, that's perfect. It was, I can't remember what it was. It was something when you were sharing about how you remove the exercise and you add it back in, and then I can't remember. It's gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's just, I was looking for we remove it to be able to balance the hormones, to make sure, because if you start jumping to exercise and your adrenal glands are, if you're stressed and your adrenal glands are tired and your thyroid, you're just not gonna lose weight. Like, you're gonna be adding more stress to the body
Yeah.
and not seeing results, because
Yeah.
you're just gonna be exhausted. So that's an
Makes
important
sense.
piece, to make sure that blood test is fine, that everything is working properly, and that's when you jump into exercise and start getting the actual benefits.
Beautiful. Yeah, thank you. That was the piece that was 100% supposed to come through, about not just jumping into exercise, because that's what a lot of people do. And you see them doing that, where it's like they push themselves so hard in the exercise trying to lose weight, and they forget, like they don't understand about the impact that has to do on our nervous system and our adrenals and our hormones, which is actually just setting us backwards even more from achieving our goals, which seems a little counterintuitive, because we've been so conditioned to believe that exercise equals fitness and equals health and equals like weight loss. right? But I'm so glad that that piece came through about really like focusing on the nutrition piece first, getting the nervous system and the adrenals and everything supported well first, and then bringing in the exercise. So I'm so happy that you mentioned that, Marianna. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And it's just like it's just proof as to like why investing in yourself. And I'm a huge advocate for just not fucking around and just hiring somebody to help you do what you want to do. I have coaches all the time and mentors all the time supporting me in things. And that's really why I've been able to integrate so much over the last little bit, is because I have invested in that. So I just know that any women that are really looking to be supported in this would be so supported by you with your personal experience moving through it, and then all of the incredible tools and wisdom that you have to support people with this. So I appreciate you coming on here and sharing all of this.
Thank you. And it's so much when you support them, when you have somebody standing next to you and kind of like watching you feel that, oh, I have to make sure I do the proper job. I spend the money, I spend the effort to work with this person. While on the other hand, when you're doing your own thing, it's like, okay, today I'm gonna do good, and then the next day it's like, oh, today I don't feel like doing good. So it's just there is no step back when you're working with someone. You are always supported.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and sometimes we don't have that immediate support or expertise within like our family or our friend circle as well, right? So it's like being able to bring an expert into our life to be able to teach us that. It's incredible too how much it ripples out from that place as well, because then we get to learn all of this stuff, and then we get to ripple it into our families and our friends and help support them with stuff, or referring people, or like being able to bring it out to our communities. And that's really is like by us investing into ourselves, into our own desires and goals that we have, it really ripples out to the greater picture of everything that's going on to support the world in being a better place.
For sure, and I have so many clients, women mostly. They're like, "Oh, my kids were never interested in vegetables," and then they see all these things on my plate, so they start first. They watch, what are you eating, mommy? And then, oh, let me the next day. Eventually, they're like, "Okay, can I try this?" And then they end up liking it out of nowhere. So you give
Amazing.
your example. They always watch how you eat, how you act, and you're giving the
Yeah.
example to your family, and they definitely
Yeah.
follow.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm curious, Marianna, would you be able to share some stories or some experiences of some of the results that your clients have had?
Well, besides weight loss, so a lot of people, first of all, they gain a lot of energy.
Mm.
It's a big one. They start sleeping better. I have many women that I'm working with right now who are premenopausal and they have trouble sleeping at night. They wake up in the middle of the night. So it definitely helped many of them to kind of sleep more, not to wake up at night, and then to have remove other premenopausal symptoms or even PMS symptoms, like water retention, the swelling, and the pain. And a lot of people come with, I had a client who did the program just because she had a migraine. She didn't use it, but we worked on the food aspect, and she was able to help her with the migraine. I have many clients who
Oh,
able to get rid of the migraine.
you're cutting out there a bit, Marianna. Your voice is very muffled.
Is it coming back now?
Yeah. It's better now.
Yeah, it happens, I guess, the communication. So some people have their skin being cleared. Some people have really good success with eczema. Because basically what the program does, it removes the foods that causing you those allergic reactions or those that are bothering the system. We don't even know about that. We don't realize that it's in our body. And then once you remove it and then you feel great, it's like, oh, so that's what was causing the problem in the first place. So
Mm-hmm.
it's so much more beyond the weight loss. It's just called the weight loss program, but it's just really a lifestyle change.
For sure. Yeah.
Improve.
Yeah. And I love how you're getting right to the root cause of things as well with this. You know, it's no band-aid solution. It's not just like trying to mask symptoms that our body is just desperately trying to show us, right? Our bodies are always here showing us what we need to take a look at within. And I'm so like happy that you're getting to the root cause of all these things and your clients are experiencing such incredible benefits, because it really does, it shifts so many things within when we make changes like this. That's incredible.
Right. It's just a lot of women think, oh, weight loss, it's powders and shakes. But when you actually know, like when the person is actually teaching you what do you need to eat every day, something that you don't need to depend on. You just go to a grocery store, market, farmer's market, and you just buy the food. And when you learn what you need to do, then it just makes life so much better. Especially when you have like a plan, and it's like, okay, for breakfast I'm having this and this and this. I don't have to stress about it. I don't have to worry about it. Just go, buy, prepare, it's done.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And they would get a actual list of groceries too, right? That they would just have to go and buy.
Yes. So they on the plan, they have the exact amount. So this is your breakfast. You need to eat this many grams of, for example, that yogurt, and this many grams of your berries, and then that's it. So and then lunch, and then dinner, and then this is how it's broken down. And plus there's a list of foods. So for example, proteins, you can have this chicken breast, this turkey breast, and for the meat, you can have this and this. But it depends also what the person chooses to eat. So they can mention, oh, I'm vegetarian, or I'm vegan, or I don't eat the nuts, or this, or I have allergy to this. I actually have really a few clients who are vegetarian, and have a client who's a vegan, who is doing the program. So it is definitely possible.
Amazing. And so Marianna, so when I like a few years ago when I was getting into being healthy, I would eat like the chicken breast and the broccoli and the rice. My partner that I was with before, it was just very like going to the gym, we're eating chicken, broccoli, and rice, right? And it would get so boring. So any tips for those people that are just like to spruce it up, to have more enjoyment, to have more excitement when it comes to even just the mindfulness piece around food?
Well, first of all, just like don't stick to one thing. There are so many varieties of vegetables, and they say eat the rainbow. So the more colors you have on your plate, the more. It's first of all, but also for the mindfulness. It's very important when you're sitting down to eat your meal, and that's what I teach my clients all the time. Just put that phone down. Just close that laptop. This is your 5, 10, 15 minutes of your time.
Yeah.
Appreciate what you're eating, because you just follow the food, and then half an hour later the body is going to be like, oh, I didn't have anything because I was so distracted reading something that so it's just that time, extra 5 minutes or whatever, just appreciating food. Also the way you look at your plate. So you're on a diet, or like you're eating something, and then when you look at the plate, it's like, oh, it's just vegetables and nothing. So this is how you're going to be, the results you'll be getting. Or you can look at the food and be like, oh my goodness, I have so many delicious vegetables and so many delicious foods on my plate. And it's awesome. So suddenly it changes everything, the way you look at things, and mindfulness of what you do, for sure.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I love the rainbow. I can't remember who I was having a conversation with, or maybe I was listening to something on YouTube, just about like the different frequencies and how each color, same thing as the chakras, right? Same thing as like fractal light rays, like all of it, it's all different frequencies. And it's the same thing with our food and bringing that color into onto our plate and bringing in all that different frequencies into our bodies as well. So it's really cool that you mentioned that. And then also the mindfulness piece. And also like being away from your phone and stuff like that while eating, and actually being mindful with it. Cause it's one of those things, again, if we think about it, like I'm like a big into like the sciencey type stuff, even though I'm very spiritual. So a lot of people don't really understand that about me, but I am very sciencey, with the nervous system, right? If we're in fight or flight, our body, like when we're watching something, we're stimulated. It's like our body isn't in the digestion part. So it's like our body isn't actually absorbing or digesting the food. And then we wonder why we have health issues, right? It's like if we are actually just create space for ourselves to have food for 15 minutes and just sit down and be mindful and like have gratitude for our food and like thank where it came from, like we're so blessed to have this food on our plate, because there's so many people in the world that do not have these things, right? Like, we are so blessed to have this food here. And then it just shifts our whole body's whole friggin' thing in order to a place where we can actually absorb into our bodies on that level, so we can actually receive the benefits of what is on our plate. Because even if, and that's one of the big reasons why you see people that are eating so healthy, right? It's like, I'm eating so healthy, but I'm not actually receiving the results that I want. Well, chances are your nervous system is just completely fucked, and it's not actually receiving the benefits from it. Yeah. Yeah. Huge. Yeah. And so, any last things that you would love to share for people that would be listening to this? Is there anything that you want to share? If this was your last day on the planet and you got to share any wisdom from all of your past life experience that you would want to impart into this podcast and share out to the world, what would that be?
I just wanted to say to all the women who are listening that everything, you can achieve anything. I know it sounds like very hard sometimes to, achieve the health goals, weight loss, or whatever. As long as you decide in your head that this is what I'm going to do and I'm ready for this, you can achieve anything. Because this is the first thing before I start working with the
Can you
clients.
repeat this again, Marianna? Can you repeat that again? You're cutting out.
Okay. Before I start working with the client, I always have a free 15 minutes conversation with them to understand where they are, if they are ready for this. If the person, if I don't see that the person is motivated enough to go with it, I just tell them, don't waste your time and money. Like, make sure you're mentally prepared for these changes, and then I'll be happy to work with you. So mentally, you have to understand and, understand that you can achieve anything. It's just you have to be ready for it. So don't give up.
Beautiful. Yeah, we totally can achieve anything, like you said, that we set our mind to. And sometimes that's just where we need to ask for that extra support in order to get the motivation or the confidence to be able to pursue what we want to pursue. So thank you so much for just being a mentor for women and helping support them in this journey, because I know it's a journey that can be intimidating to be able to embark on, depending on the experiences that you've had in your past with weight loss. And there's a lot of societal stigma and shame that goes along with it. So just thank you so much for being one of those amazing women that are supporting and paving the way for other people to be able to follow. I'm very grateful that you came on the podcast and shared everything today.
Yes, thank you for having me. That was such a blast.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I'm so happy that we met. We actually met at the women's show here in Ottawa, and I bought some books. Yeah.
Very valuable to be, I guess.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. And so if people would love to get in contact with you, what's the best way for them to get in contact with you, Marianna?
Through Instagram or Facebook, or I'm very available everywhere. My website, they can message me everywhere, and I'm just ready to pick up and ready to talk.
Beautiful. And we'll put those all in the show notes down below when this is posted on the podcast or the YouTube. So thank you so much again, Marianna, for taking the time out of your day to be on here with us and just sharing all of that. And like I said, for continuing to bring all of this work to the world and help so many beautiful people really step into their power and their worth and like living a happier, better, high vibration life. It's so important. And I think the world and people are ready for this big shift that we're undergoing, and it's here available for all of us. So thank you for continuing to be a light in the world.
And thank you as well for doing this podcast and this interview.
You're so welcome.
All right.
Amazing.
Okay, have a good day. Yes.
Thank you so much for being on here, and thank you to everybody who is on here live with us. We appreciate you so much. And for everybody listening to the podcast, if this was an episode that you feel that you have somebody that is in your life that you would love to share this with, that would receive a lot of value from this episode, please feel free to share it with them. Connect them with Marianna, connect them with myself, and we would be happy to be able to support them along their journey. But very, very grateful that everybody's on here listening, and very proud of you. And thank you so much for being here once again. And we will see you on the next episode. Bye. Bye, Marianna. Thank you so much again.